Ladies and gentlemen of the flat earth, it's Wednesday morning. This absolute flip-flop flinger right here. New one from Man Like Emperor. It's called Warpath.
Some meat. Some faces, I'd say.
See y'all in the chat. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. You awake, 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh, you've a strange yearning to go outside. So you'd pull down your Spider-Man pyjamas, put on your little gunties, strap on a fresh pair of dungers, lovely fresh pair of denim dungers, and you head on outside. It's still early, the birds are chirping, the sun's just rising. And you stroll along past the bus stop where you normally get the bus, and you notice that just below the seat in the bus stop, there's a tiny little doorway. What's a tiny little doorway doing below the seat in the bus stop? So you open it up, and even though it's so small, you think, I could go through that doorway, and you crawl inside, and you crawl down a tunnel. You don't know why you're doing it. Your new fresh dungers and your fresh pair of Timbs that you've strapped on are getting all dirty, but you crawl in anyway. And you crawl down until it opens up into this huge cavernous room. and there's an infinite number of monkeys on an infinite number of typewriters, all typing away. And you walk down to the end, and you see Buddha. Buddha, he's sat there on a velvet cushion. And you say, Buddha, how's it going, mate? And he says, it's all right. Yeah, it's fine. What are you up to? Why are you down here? It's like, I saw a little door. I thought I'd come in. It's like, all right, yeah, well, do you want to know anything? You go, yeah, Buddha, tell me the meaning of life. And he punches you right in the tits. You go, oh, what was that for? And he goes, you already know the meaning of life. And you go, you're right. It's coffee and memes.
Steady job and a couple extra lobsters. That's all I want. You're getting on, you're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition. I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail. The lobster patriarchy
has many of the top memes, many of the top memes, many of the top memes.
The lobster patriarchy
has many of the top memes.
And that is so true that it's almost unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee and Memes on Threshold.fm. It's the 21st of November, 21 days into No Nut November. Woo! Only 9 days left until Destroy Dick December, where it's all going down.
Lobsters.
You're damn right.
Smoking these meats.
Right, today on the show, and we're going to get stuck straight into it, is Thrasher, king of prospect recordings, self-proclaimed king of Holland. He's out there, all dressed in orange. He's loving life. It's okay. It's going to be absolutely fine. A lot of people watching today. I'm impressed. Welcome anyone new. Welcome everyone who's sort of drifted in thinking, what is this? What's Thrasher been posting about now, that mad bastard? Oh, God, what's Rankin up to? What's he talking about Buddha and bloody getting punched in the tits? Doesn't make any sense. Why has he got a button that says...
Lobsters.
Oh, you'll learn to love it. Don't worry, you'll learn to love it. Right, okay, let's just get straight into it. I'm just going to get Gareth on the phone now. Let's see how it goes. We'll get him on the horn. We'll talk dumb news stories later. Woo! Mad bastard. What's Rankin up to? What's he talking about? Oh, no, there's a delay. Punched in the tits. Has he got a button that says lobsters? Oh, you'll learn to love Gareth, it. Don't worry, you'll learn to love it. Turn the sound on your YouTube off.
I've done it.
Okay.
Lobsters.
How are you, mate? Are you okay?
I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, I'm all good. Is this, yeah, there he is. Hey!
That's me. Yeah.
God, he's smoking already at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's commitment.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's a few things in life that I do stick by, you know?
What?
Yeah, principles.
Smoking early in the morning is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Get the... You know what happens? I mean, you smoke, you drink coffee.
Yeah.
Your daily shit, you know? You're perfect.
Yeah, damn right. I mean, that makes it certain... God, yeah, that'll loosen you up in the morning, won't it?
It does.
Yeah, strong cup of coffee and a Marlboro Red.
Nah, Lucky Strike, man.
Lucky Strike. God. Yeah. You heavy metal cliche, you.
Fuck yeah. Now, you know, I started smoking Lucky Strike because I only started smoking like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, right, a late bloomer.
Yeah, you know, it happens. And I chose these because the artwork is just the best. But yeah, now they're fucking it up with like people in wheelchairs on it and stuff like that. So, yeah, but it used to be cool.
That's a shame. Are there countries where they don't have the warnings on them anymore?
Well, there's warnings almost everywhere, but there's some countries you don't have all the like fucking the black lungs and like dudes crying because they can't get a hard on the package, you know, those kind of pictures. Yeah. I mean, go to like, I don't know, I think in Colombia they don't have that shit yet, for instance.
Right, maybe you could get at least just empty packets shipped over, and you maybe you get 3 or 4 goes out of a single packet before it sort of disintegrates. You just top it up with cigs that you buy at home.
Well, that would be great, but I had this idea to make these stickers, you know, and this is not a joke, like, you know, because you have all the stuff, like the negative stuff, and I wanted to be like the stickers like smoking is fun. You know?
Well, I used to work at this club called the Ocean Rooms in Brighton, and when the warnings first came out, which I guess was like the early noughties, like, don't know, 2001, 2002, they made stickers that said things like, no one likes a quitter, and smoking makes you hard, that sort of thing, with their logos on it. But yeah, you can do all of that.
Smoking makes you hard. Yeah.
Smoking makes you more attractive to women. All these things. Hey, it's true. It makes you tough. It makes you cool.
Dude, I don't even like the taste, but I got this reputation to hold.
Yeah.
Makes it look a bit more badass.
It's a gateway drug. Soon you'll be smoking the ganja, and then that's just a one-way ticket to crystal meth.
No, I went the other way around, man. I started with meth, then ganja, and then now it's just cigarettes and coffee.
You're gradually working your way down.
I'm not, fuck the rules, man.
Yeah, man. When you're about 70 or 80, you'll be on the matcha lattes. And you'll be on a vegan raw food diet or some such bollocks.
Yoga, shit like that,
Yeah. Dearie me.
Can't wait to die before my 70s now.
Well, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's just like stretching out the time beyond, when you get to, I don't know, about 70, if you're in roughly good nick, that's okay. But it's the sort of years beyond there. It's like, I'm just going to spend 20 years in an absolute state. Like, what's the point in those last 20 years? You want to go out dancing,
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I totally agree. But going back to the smoking, I've only smoked for 6 years. So doesn't that mean that I got a few years to go?
Yeah, man.
Be fine, and then I come back down and my lungs will still be okay?
Well, I smoked for 15 years and then gave up.
Yeah. You look great.
Thanks, yeah. Quite shiny today, actually. It's weird. This is, you can't see on the thing. Well, I guess you can see a delayed version of it. I've got the lobster here, Wesley Snips. He's just taken up smoking. But I don't really know how the lobster sort of lung system works as to whether or not it will affect him. But he gets pretty razzed up off the nicotine, starts saying racist stuff. It's weird. I don't understand it.
That's where it's from. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I blame cigarettes next time people are offended by me.
Yeah. It's what's there was that whole Roseanne thing where she tweeted something that people thought was racist, and she blamed it on Ambien, that drug. So I don't know, maybe you could blame it on nicotine. It's worth a try, isn't it? Why not?
Yeah, I'll just blame it. It wasn't me. It was the cigarettes.
Just blame your toxic masculinity and the patriarchy, something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Blame the drum and bass. Blame the hard D&B.
I blame drum and bass for so much shit in my life. So
Man, it's drum and bass. She's a cruel mistress. She gives, but she also takes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll take away your health much, much worse than
my
cigarettes.
Health, bunch of past relationships. Yeah. But in the end, it was for a good cause.
We had a lot of fun times. Yeah. I would say that as far as drum and bass raves go, prospectors, that's got to be worse for your health than, say, I don't know, hospitality or something. Like, they go hard in a motherfucker at prospect nights.
They go hard, but then again, go hard in life, man. Especially hospitality will definitely make you become 90, but prospect you'll end like around 60, but it's still your prime,
Yeah, you'll go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like rather than die in a retirement home, you're going to die on impact.
Yeah, and yeah,
it's fine, isn't it?
I can choose, it's fine, man,
Yeah, I reckon one of those Prospect XL shows that ages you by about 1 year.
Yeah, and I've done too many of them. So, but anyway, as I've never built up a pension yet, so it'll be fine if I turn like 60, 65, It's good, Then I'm like, see, there was a reason I never fixed this shit. I knew it.
Well, we're gonna watch out when you do when you're like 65 and you do the the last ever one. It's like, well, make sure he hasn't got a plane ticket to Mexico or something. He's running away with all the cash.
Would be a good idea, though.
Yeah, sow the seeds into your head. When did you start? When was the first or when did you start doing the nights? Like when did? Well, tell me the story, Gareth, about how it all got going.
I think around 2002, 2003.
Fucking hell, it was that long ago.
Yeah, it's pretty long. But dude, it was a big mistake. I've always played in like punk bands or rock and roll. That was kind of my thing, and I I was promoter for this club in Nighttown. I booked the concerts, but we also did like dance nights and everything. And I was like, you know, I liked drum and bass and I liked gabber, hardcore. I mean, those two were like the things I was like, okay, this has actually got balls, you know?
Yeah.
And as a promoter, I was like, yeah, fuck it, you know? Okay, I'll put up this. The thing is, like, hardcore gabber back then was like a lot of right-wing morons in that scene, so that didn't really appeal to me. So that, like, you know, I'll just try to put on a drum and bass night, but I had no clue about anything about drum and bass. You know, I just knew what I liked. And I thought, yeah, we can do this, but we can do this way harder. So that's kind of how Prospect started. Just me and some friends, no clue what I was doing, and just thinking, this drum and bass these days is a bit pussy-ish. Let's make it harder. And that's also how I got into DJing. I wasn't planning on DJing, but I was like, yeah, you know, I know what I want to hear on these nights.
It's drum and bass for pussies. Someone needs to come in here, sort them out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we planned.
Right.
We need to get the manly, ballsy stuff in there, you know? Yeah, but just kidding. That's how it went rolling. And then it went pretty well. We straight away threw in all the hardcore stuff, which offended a lot of drum and bass purists, I guess, and a lot of hardcore purists. But in the end, I think it actually worked because it's kind of almost its own genre now. And a few years later, started a label, then the agency, and I'm still stuck doing this.
I just wanted to get a normal job.
Yeah, I've given up on that now, I can tell you. Yeah, normal job ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny situation to be in. It's like sometimes like the normal job, just like keeping it simple, something you know, so it keeps you out of trouble. Like a bit of companionship, that sort of thing. Some nice co-workers, a regular paycheck. You know, steady job, couple of extra potatoes. You know?
Yeah, I think all these things you've mentioned now are not in my work situation. But well, yeah, you make some friends, you know. You know, getting fucked up at Prospect parties is the perfect way to make friends for life. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's the friends that you make through where you join together through the physical and mental adversity of getting absolutely mashed together surrounded by hard dance music.
Yeah, and I got so much like great things to blackmail people on.
Yeah, should Limewax ever decide to run as a politician, he's absolutely fucked.
Definitely, he's fucked. But saying that, though, I think I'm still fucked most of all if I would want to run for politician. I was thinking of it, I'm like, dude, I could do that. But then I was thinking, like within 10 minutes of me being on there, I think there'll be like 100 videos of offensive stuff that will get me kicked out.
Yeah.
So that dream ain't going to happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've talked so much shit over the years that I've been doing the Rankin Radio podcast. I've said so many offensive jokes that, like, if it ever came to, like, I don't know, Radio 1 or the BBC, like, hey, you've really built up a great fan base here with your radio show. Why don't you come and do one with us? I was like, just no. Like, I'd be like one show in and someone would be like, Rankin, do you remember when you said such and such on the podcast? Like, right, get him out.
Yeah. So you're screwed. I'm screwed. What are we going to do, man?
Fuck it, we'll just do our own thing, yeah?
Yeah.
This is a thing, though. Like, this is something that I've been kind of talking to a lot of people about and focusing on a lot. Like, the idea of, like, building your own community within the genre or the sphere of music that you're in. Because, like, climbing up the musical hierarchy is can be a tricky thing to balance. Like, you know, it's shaky and the rug can be pulled out from underneath you at any point. Like, I don't know, a genre dies or you know, for whatever. But if you can sort of build up your own scene, your own little community of stuff, like you can't get laid off from your own thing. Like, and Prospect is a bit like that. Like, Prospect has its, like, totally has its own group of sort of followers and fans and community. And they're not going to fire you. Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to say something offensive enough to get fired from Prospect.
I've tried, but seriously, it's almost fucked up, the shit I can get away with. Yeah, no, really. Like I'm sometimes, like, yeah, also especially like in this hardcore scene where we're also operating. There's a lot of politics going on,
Yeah.
But some weird way, I think I got like this get out of jail for free card or something,
Well, be careful. There's always something, isn't it? Like, hey,
true,
Thrasher's crazy. He does wild stuff. He's a runaway train. He's done what?
Yeah, no, but so far I'm fine that way. I think, yeah, actually what you're saying is kind of, we kind of build up our own little thing with people that are just a little less less offended about stuff, But going there, I mean, we have like, I fucked up like a few relationships of people on the radio and stuff like that, and there's no joke, and certain things maybe were a bit, but what's so great though, like, because as people that know me know, I'm like totally not racist, I'm pretty politically like, pretty lefty in a way.
Yeah.
You can get away with the worst stuff, but I think that's also because one of my best friends who co-hosts the radio show is black, and that's like a get out of racist jail card for free.
Well, that's what what's his name, Howard Stern used to do, didn't he? That's how he got away with saying his most offensive stuff.
Yeah, it works that way. So. You got Dart, my lifesaver.
Well, I think the music in itself is the most offensive part of Prospect.
That is a fact. Yeah, totally.
So when did you decide to get into like so you were just DJing, putting on parties to start off with? Like, when did you decide, right, I'm gonna have to start, this music isn't hard enough, I'm gonna have to start making it myself?
Well, the thing is, it was actually pretty fast. Like, I've always been making music, like playing bands. I recorded a bunch of records and everything, but it's a different scene, of course. But at first, that was still my main focus. I mean, like, the Prospect thing on the side was just kind of a hobby and a work thing, and I don't know where, gradually it became my work, and then, like, I was lucky that I'm surrounded by really talented producers like Limewax and that, because, I know how Ableton works, but I ain't fucking, if you sit next to a whiz kid like that, I'm not even going to try. But I do have like the ideas and, I bring the rock and roll element to it. But that's the way I've been working. It was just gradually, and more, like, for instance, now, like, even like we got this new project, Dead Cult, that is like really finally like this perfect blend of punk and black metal and drum and bass, and this is like, we write this as a band, and that's fun to do, because I think like I always need the making music side, because that's more fun than running a company is actually pretty fucking boring, so you need kind of that element as well. But yeah, as I said, I started pretty late, so I've never really had the time to go 100% for music production. I'm just lucky that I get to work with people that are really talented, Yeah, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's useful. It's certainly useful to have them around, isn't it? Just be able to bounce
pretty
off.
Useful.
Yeah.
I mean, but I guess I do have like a vision on this thing and the way I want it to go, because with Prospect 2, when we started it, I can tell you it was not, drum and bass and hardcore was not a thing to mix together, and this is definitely something we've been pushing, and so we created this new genre, all of us. I think that it's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting because you get obviously your serious drum and bass purists and like real like hard drum and bass purists, and then obviously you've got your hardcore lot, and you actually have to find a sort of special sort of person that's going to want the weird bloody half breed of the two of them, because
at first, trust me, there were not a lot of people that wanted that.
Yeah.
Because like when we started doing that in the beginning, like with like mixing up the hardcore and the drum bass, there were two different worlds. I even remember doing that, like, what did I fucking know? I came from punk rock and I started DJing and on the side and everything, and I was like, oh, this is like, man, let's throw in these kicks with the drum and bass. It works great. But that was my opinion. Most of the crowd was not ready for that shit back then. It took some years to kind of like create our own little group of freaks that were actually down with both and down with the combination. But it was definitely not something that happened overnight,
Yeah, I remember when people started doing the sort of combining of metal and drum and bass, and majority of people were like, I like metal and I like drum and bass, but please stop putting them together. It's making me deeply upset.
Yeah, but you know what? I understand that because there's only a few that were actually capable of doing it. I mean, Justin, he can do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but a lot of the times, I mean, in hardcore, it's even worse. They mix up metal with hardcore or metal with drum and bass, but usually using just the shitty same Slipknot samples and stuff. Yeah, and that, of course, is a big taking the piss thing, you know? It doesn't work. But if it's done well, I mean, I believe you can do it. But there's only a small group of people, which I could count with one hand, that are actually capable of mixing it up. So I understand why, like, some people were like, yeah, for me too, you know? I mean, I love, like, hard rock and roll music. I love drum and bass. But for me, I think I loved drum and bass and I loved that. But the combination of two was not really something I was looking for, you know? In the beginning, definitely not.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was definitely a struggle for people to do it well. I mean, mainly it was just like, well, let's do drum and bass covers of classic metal tunes. Like Concord Dawn did that Raining Blood one.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole load of bootlegs. Didn't Dylan do a few?
Yeah, he did Masters of Puppets, I think. Dylan, yeah. But I think the best one was definitely Justin's. You know, the Extreme Steel thing, the VIP. That was well done.
Yeah.
You know? Remember that one? He sampled, like, I think Pantera, Slayer, and Hatebreed in one. But that one really worked. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was, like, over the years of, well, hardcore's always been, like, pretty, like, prominent in Holland.
Mainstream here, man. I mean, hardcore festivals, they fucking pull 60, 70,000 people here in Holland. Could you even imagine that?
I mean, can you imagine it in any other country in the world? Like it's
of course not.
No. I don't know. I remember I played at Cubase Festival. Don't know, going 4 or 5 years ago. They had a tiny little stage for dubstep. And it was like me and
you played that dubstep stage then?
yeah, with Neuro when they were like before they were huge. Yeah. And it was just such a surreal thing to go to, like having like never been to anything like that before, to see like how the hardstyle lot and the hardcore lot really go to town on a big festival. Yeah, it's just like nothing else. The stages that they build with just fire coming out of everything and like huge like monster heads and like, man, and yeah, I mean I
play these festivals every year all summer, man. Which is pretty surreal because I think of it. You know, I sometimes think like sometimes I'll bring like friends of mine from like the hardcore punk scene and that. And it just feels so weird. They're like, what the fuck is this? It's like, if you're not from that, it's so bizarre to see these gigantic events with that music and the stages and everything, you know? Yeah, I always feel like one big fucking sellout. Like going back to when I was young, yeah, man, fuck all this electronic music. This is fake. Fuck the real thing. And now I'm like playing all these things. Yeah. I guess I don't have any principles anymore.
Yeah, no, drum and bass they'll squeeze those slowly out of you along with your morals and your dignity.
Yeah, till there's nothing left but this shallow, hollow thing, you know, sitting in front of you.
Yeah, that's how we wanted it. It's burning off all the fat, burning off all the excess dead wood until it's just pure, gritty, aggressive electronic music left at the bottom.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine by me. I've got nothing better to give.
Not me neither, man. You know. Yeah. Well, we look good, so.
Hey, yeah, it's
what's the inside matter then, you know?
Yeah, it's just hollow blackness on the inside.
Yeah, who cares, man? You know, as long as it's something nice to look at.
Yeah, exactly. What is I don't know, almost like more than the crazy stage shows and everything is just the fans of hardstyle and stuff. It's a genre of music for people that just have no intention of fitting into society at all, or just have no actual possibility of ever fitting in with normal, polite society. It's yeah. In a way, though. I mean, like these hardcores, these last few years has got
all of a sudden it's hip now. Even even
right.
Berghain does like these gabber things now, which is just funny
Really?
for me because like these are all the same like organizations and dance people that a few years back would like puke it up, and now all of a sudden it's hip and trendy. Vice does videos about it. All of a sudden it's all cool. So, and you see that, I mean, it is changing, but like the hardcore, like core of this music, they're super working class. Most of them will probably be, working on building sites all of their life or shit like that. It's that kind of like blue collar kind of thing, and which is kind of cool in its way, I guess. But yeah, no, definitely not fitting in. Definitely not working at a bank or something.
Yeah, it was very much like that with like the happy hardcore scene in the UK. Like this is an exclusively Northern England phenomenon. You never really got it down south, even in London, like not very much, but up like Manchester, Newcastle, Sunderland, like really up the top. He's just wild. Happy hardcore and hard dance.
That's funny
scenes.
about England, though. Like, it's really weird. If you start in the bottom in the south, it's drum and bass.
Yeah.
It's actually going up, going crazier. And when you're in the north, it's just hardcore.
Yeah.
In Scotland, I mean, like, for instance, it's all about hardcore. They don't give a fuck about drum and bass there. But if you go to the south,
Yeah, Glasgow, I mean, they fucking love the hardcore there.
Yeah.
It's it's fucking wild. How is like it? Has it changed a lot? I mean, you say that hardcore's gone sort of mainstream a bit in Holland now. How is that working out for prospect stuff? Are you just getting a different kind of raver in at the more like extreme events?
It's not like the prospect crowd hasn't really changed. That's just this blend of people that just like hard drum and bass, hardcore, industrial, breakcore, just all the like the extreme versions of all these genres, and that's kind of staying. I mean, we've got our own thing going, but you do get like a lot of like prospect stages at these big hardcore events. And there you do see that, it's getting bigger and bigger, and prospect stages too, and there you do see also like, but I see that mainstream thing as a gateway drug as well. So I'm only happy to like host these parties because you always do get people that are like, oh, actually this is way better music.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, it's way better music. Come to Prospect next time. So we're kind of like stealing souls this way, know?
One thing I noticed about the Prospect shows is there are way more girls than there are, you would expect to be there, and that there are, other. Maybe it's a Dutch thing, but like, I don't know what the split is in the crowd, but it's pretty good. I think it's fairly even.
That is a positive thing, Like when you come to a prospect party, there's a lot of girls there, and actually also just normal looking girls. They're not like shaved heads and shit like that. There's actually cute girls at prospect parties too, and they're the best because. What do you want? A girlfriend that just wants to listen to easy listening radio stuff? We want a girl that goes full on fucking hard.
Yeah.
I choose the second one.
my girlfriend's into the Dixie Chicks.
Well, hey, I love country music, so...
she likes Papa Roach as well, so that's fine.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wait. Hey. Whoa there.
Hey.
All right. A friend of my dad has a game that he's Scottish, and he likes to tell celebrities to get to fuck. And he once managed to tell Papa Roach to get to fuck in a toilet at a Papa Roach show, I think in Glasgow. So he was pretty pleased about that. He said he was wearing a kilt at the time.
Was he?
Yeah. Weird times. Very weird.
Weird times. I always wonder if they're wearing underwear under the kilts.
No.
That's seriously always what I think.
It's illegal, actually, to wear underwear under a kilt. I think it's under Scottish law.
Seriously?
It wouldn't surprise me. They got some wild laws on the books up there. I think Trump's got the right idea, but the wall needs to be separating England and Scotland. Like, let's build up Hadrian's Wall again. We got to keep these mad bastards out.
I can imagine that. I'm going to Glasgow this Saturday. I'm already worried again.
It's going to be fun. You get yourself a bit of deep fried pizza. Put the kebab on top of the pizza and then deep fry it.
Do they seriously do that? That is so fucking wrong.
Yeah. No, they'll deep fry anything. Honestly, they're out of control.
Okay, now I understand, because like it doesn't matter, even if you're in like Glasgow or something in February and it's minus 500 degrees, the girls would still be wearing as much clothes as like would fit just my boxer short. I'm surprised, but now I know what keeps them warm. It's deep fried pizza and kebab.
It's the high fat content of the diet. It's the only way you can do it.
I'm always surprised, man, about that.
Yeah, they don't fuck about. What are people in the chat? People in the chat are going on about buckfast as well. Have you ever had buckfast?
Yeah, I have. That's lethal, man.
Yeah, that'll get you where you need to go.
It's when you puke. It's just this. Imagine buckfast and deep fried pizza and then puking. Dude.
In a shop doorway, obviously. Yeah.
Well, it's breakfast for champions, right?
Yeah, buckfast is hilarious. It says on the bottle that it's made by Benedictine monks. It's like, yeah, fuck, it's made by Benedictine monks.
Yeah, but imagine if it is.
Maybe it was a couple of hundred years ago.
How can you preach, like, I don't know, what is it, Christianity? And like serve that to the kids, or maybe it's like a long-term thing, because they'll know like after 10 or 20 years they'll get in rehab or go to jail, find Jesus, and then they'll be fine. Maybe that's the long-term thing.
Yeah, they're playing the long game. Yeah, we're gonna get all these poor wee Scottish kids messed up on buckfast, and then we'll come and get them when they're at their lowest and draw them into Catholicism.
Definitely, it's a smart move, man.
Yeah, I think it could work.
Because it's better to get them late when they fucked up their whole life and they're like, then like start young and they'll be after 20 years be done with God and move on then, It's a smart move. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't have a great track record for dealing with young children, the Catholic Church, either.
No, so even that, it's safer to start late.
Yeah. God, what? Listen, I knew this would take a dark path at one point in the conversation, but it was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
Oh, God. How's it? Is it freezing fucking cold in Holland as well, like it is here?
Yeah, it is freezing cold.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's just completely ridiculous.
Saying that, I prefer it freezing cold than it raining. It's not raining, so.
Man, it's been raining sideways the last couple of days here. It's absolutely horrendous. I can't get warm at all. It's, this is not the Western world I was promised.
Hell fucking no.
It's fucking freezing. Where's the climate change? Where's our global warming?
Yeah, that's the thing, like I've been buying like a ton of like hairspray bottles, just trying to. I think it's a lie, man.
Yeah, I've been out on patches of wasteland just burning tires, just hoping.
Doing my part and make the summer great again.
We had a ridiculously hot summer this year. Like it was almost too much the other way. Like the country just couldn't deal with it. I mean, the Brits are terrible at dealing with hot weather as it is, but like nowhere has air conditioning because we're so used to it just being pissing rain all the time.
Yeah.
It's the same when I was living in Berlin. You get like a week of 36 degrees in a row. And
then it's minus 20 again.
Yeah, but you would think that they would do something to like, all right, well, let's get some air conditioning in places. But no, it's just
but in Berlin, they're confused, of course, because I think that 1 week of warm weather is like them feeling Western European, and then the rest is them still being behind the Berlin Wall,
Yeah, well, it is sort of still the 80s there in many ways, but that's part of its charm.
Yeah, I do agree on that, yeah.
You've got a dial-up internet and... Betamax. They're the only place.
Drive the plastic cars there.
They've got those little Trabants, haven't they? The Trabbies. Yeah, they're hilarious. God, man, that would have fucking. I mean, living under communism is gonna suck either way. But like, you would have like a whole street would like club together to order one of those cars, and it would take like you'd have to be on a waiting list for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
and then everyone would share it.
Hard life, man.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, give it a miss. But hey, we should give communism another try. I think they just weren't doing it right.
Oh yeah, I agree on that, man. Just make sure everybody has a plastic car. Nobody's complaining, man. You know.
Yeah, I'm more about this whole future luxury communism that we're going to get when robots can do all the work for us.
Yeah.
And then we can just sit around, just, I don't know, smoking the herb or something and eating grapes.
Yeah, and get fat and just do nothing.
Look,
you don't even have to be fit or anything if you don't do anything all day, right?
No, it can be, you get your VR porn. And then you don't need a girlfriend.
You don't even have to have sex anymore because you know how fucking tiring that shit can get.
God, yeah. Think about how many calories you burn doing that. What a waste of time, eh?
Yeah, a waste of time and effort. Yeah. Plus, then you don't have to like secretly think of somebody else when you're having sex with your girlfriend, I guess, right? Then it's like legal. Just
we cover a lot of news. I say we, it's I. Cover a lot of news on sex robots on the show. They're coming along in leaps and bounds. I think this would be something to start spending them prospect dollars on. Maybe getting a few of those at some of the gigs. You could run a little sex doll brothel out the back.
Actually, yeah, okay, but yeah, saying that though, I mean, it is like. Because, you know, I think prostitution is a pretty sad thing, you know. It's like women being a piece of meat. Well, but when it comes to robots, there's no ethical reason not to do it, right?
No, I mean, it's a sort of, it's a bit of a moral minefield, really. I don't know how, it's weird. There are people that are sort of campaigning for the rights of sex robots already.
Are you serious?
Yeah, which is weird because you'd think that they'd probably want to sort out the human rights stuff in the world first.
There's still a few little steps to be made in human rights worldwide, right?
Like one or two before we start giving sex robots rights. Yeah,
and maybe give human rights to people in Russia.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, like, I'm not joking. I mean, like, Europe is fucked at the moment again. I mean, to go on a serious thing, but come on, see what's going on. Like, half of Eastern Europe is going back in time again. You know, you saw that protest of like the right-wing protest in Poland, 200,000 people there. Shit is fucked up. So let's maybe start with being a bit more humane and, you know, just use sex robots to counter fucking Catholic priests with little children. Are you? What? Okay, so
not bad idea.
What do you think of like? This is actually a moral question.
Oh,
I mean,
God, here we go.
Like,
I feel like I know what's coming here.
Sex robots that are little kids.
No, I don't even want to think about it. I can't. It's just such an unbearable concept. It's like, what?
But no, it's fucked up. That question was a discussion I had like 2 weeks ago with somebody, and I'm like, because you're first going, yeah, fuck that shit, that's wrong.
Oh man, like this is a discussion that like people are gonna have to have. Like, there's gonna have to be that. Like, should they be illegal? Should they like? It's not something I'm qualified. Not a conversation I'm qualified to have.
That thing. So maybe it's a good.
Thanks for bringing that up, Gareth.
Yeah, but it's like it's fucked up shit. I mean, then I'm like, okay, politicians can tackle that shit for me.
Yeah, right.
I'll put it on somebody instead. You know?
I'm gonna stick to making dick jokes and making hard drum and bass. I think that's a safer bet.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It's truly terrifying.
Like the vibe's totally destroyed now in this show.
Lobsters.
Yeah. No, it's just bloody disaster. Why did I get you on? Yeah. I knew this was going to be a problem. This is why you upset everyone on your radio station, on your radio show, and now you're going and upsetting my listeners. Well, my listeners are very, very fragile little snowflakes, you know, and they don't like bad language or very, very soft drum and bass. No, tough as nails, the Lobster Crew. They can't be fucked with.
I'm not worried, man.
No, they'd be fine. Would you have sex with a sex robot? You've got a girlfriend, so let's assume you didn't. Let's assume you're a single man.
Well, if I don't fucking know, man. Now, to be honest, Can I skip this question?
All right, I've got a better question.
No, I think, and this, man, I'm going to be dead serious here. No, I think when it comes to sex, I mean, it's super cheesy to say this, but when you love somebody, it's way more fun. You know that.
Yes,
you know?
obviously.
And so, like, it would not be on my wish list of, like, top 10 things to do. But, yeah, you know, saying that if you're a fucking ugly dude that is super socially awkward, I can understand getting one of those. I mean, I think it beats beating off, maybe.
Yeah,
you know?
well, that I guess that it's just like the ultimate posh wank, isn't it? It's yeah. Yeah, why not? I mean, sex toys are empowering for women, but they're gross for men.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that?
Hey, I can't have a fleshlight on me the whole time. That's just outrageous.
Yeah, but it is kind of true though. Like it is kind of like a thing. Like with women, yeah, it's like almost like now they're screaming it from like the top of a building, like, yeah, man, I got vibrators, I got shit like that. But if a dude says I got a flashlight, it's like, you know.
Can you imagine what this like? You'd be like if you're on like Instagram or Twitter, and that's like your thing. You're just like really pro male masturbation toys. Like you would lose all your friends and family within a week.
So in that way, actually, you know, that's not fair, is it?
This is the equality we need to be striving for. These are the important topics.
Yeah.
Is it true that Prospect are coming out with a range of sex toys with a dildo in the shape of Lime Wax's head? I heard that somewhere.
No, but we are getting a set of dildos in the shape of the penises of the artists.
Oh, God.
It was a kind of difficult one to do because there's a few in there that did not agree with everybody's like, no, mine has to be bigger, you know, but I want to make it like very real. So, yeah, Limewax has already said he's not on it.
Oh, that's a shame, man.
This season.
It's small but perfectly formed. That's what I've heard.
Hey, you know, it's like there's, yeah, no, the puzzle piece will fit in somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's room.
Hey, look, you know, not everyone wants a huge one, you know. Some people are looking for a more sort of delicate artistry, a little bit more, you know, getting back to the idea of subtlety and nuance, you know, in this day and age where everything has to be Americanized and enormous and extreme. Just little delicate brushstrokes from a refined artist.
I do not believe this shit. Size does matter.
Yeah. You know?
I mean, like, imagine being born with a micro penis. That is really fucked up.
Yeah, that is. God, it'd just be so unfortunate, wouldn't it? It would be. Yeah. You'd be hard to argue the existence of God under those circumstances.
Totally. I mean, or you'll be like hating yourself because you're really fucked up in your previous life. If you believe in that kind of shit. Yeah.
But then maybe you did. Maybe you did fuck up in a previous life.
Maybe you deserve it. Maybe you just you're a dick and you deserve to have a micro penis. Fuck you.
I guess that's the other argument, isn't it? Yeah. No one's born innocent.
No, man. Fuck that. That's religion again. We're all born innocent and equal. Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't really know where to go from here. You know, Gareth, I'd like to say I've enjoyed this experience, but I should have known what I was getting myself in for.
We've been pretty okay here, right?
Yeah, we've been fine. It could have been a lot worse. You're going to release some of my records next year. That's true, isn't it? Imagine that.
Definitely. I actually really like the tunes, man. You did a good job there.
That's the first. Thanks.
No, but really, they're a good job. And actually, I mean, you know, this last year we've released a lot of like hardcore and Prospect. That wasn't because Prospect is a hardcore label. It's still like the fundament is still drum and bass. But, you know, yeah, to be honest, and you know this as well, the whole neuro thing got a bit boring, you know. There was a lot of it just sounding the same. And there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really... rocking my boat. But now, at the moment, I feel there's this thing going on where, you know, harder stuff's being produced. And that is still pure drum and bass. So, yeah, your one is really great. And we got a shitload of new drum and bass releases coming out. At the moment, I can say for the first time in like 3 years, we got more drum and bass coming out than hardcore or breakcore and stuff like that again. So that's, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty hyped about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, yeah, there's I think it's exciting times for drum and bass. Like I feel like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago things were kind of, I don't know, they were a little bit stagnating in certain areas, but like the love has come back into it. Like people are I don't know, people are getting creative again.
Yeah, I totally see that. It's really, I feel something bubbling up again. I feel like 2019 is going to be a really good year for drum and bass. Yeah, I totally feel that. Which is great because it's the music we fucking love, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It always comes back. Like it's the old story of the prodigal son. It goes off and tries to do something a bit different, doesn't quite work out, and then it has to come back home and be itself again. Yeah,
but that is the power, I guess, of drum and bass. There's a few of these electronic music genres that have just a really strong fundament. I mean, drum and bass, also techno, These things have been going for so many years. It's ups and downs, it's waves, but it'll stay. Unlike, for instance, what you saw with dubstep when it was like this massive new thing, like the new best thing. Everybody jumped on it. But let's be honest, it was a bubble waiting to pop.
Yeah.
Because it was missing that fundament. And I think now actually is a good time for dubstep because it went back to the underground. And it's gradually building up. I've heard some good stuff in that too. But with drum and bass, it'll always stay. I really believe that.
Yeah, it's that's it. It's got 20 years of history. Well, more. 25 going on for 30 years of history behind it. And all the foundational members of the scene are still there. Really, still even if they're not producing, they're still helping push the industry along. The scene along.
Yeah, totally. I mean, even the next Prospect Excel, I'm going to do some promotion here on the 22nd of December in the Maasila. We got, on purpose, the drum and bass guys, I got Ed Rush playing again, who for me has always been, he's still fucking killing, still on top of it. And he's been there from the early days, And then we also have Dom and Roland for the same reason. This guy's been producing great music for how many years? And then 2 years ago, he came with that full-length album. What is it? Bloody Blah of a Scoundrel or something. And it still blew me the fuck away. These guys are still creative, still pushing that. That keeps that scene alive, I guess. You've got room for the new talent, but you still have the old guys killing it. And that is, I think, a healthy situation,
Yeah, definitely. Dom and Roland's not about to lose any of his production talent anytime soon. I don't know, unless he gets a bump on the head of some kind. Tech Itch as well, man.
I've heard some new stuff from him, and I was finding, man.
Yeah.
This is what I want to hear,
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's great. It's an exciting time to be in the drum and bass scene.
Fuck yeah.
It is. Yeah. Right, Gareth, thanks so much for coming on the show and talking absolute nonsense with me. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. In a way. In a funny sort of way, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too, man. I don't even remember the shit I've been saying just now, but I'll probably hear it from other people. So,
someone in the chat is saying that most people waited 13 years for one of those plastic cars in the Soviet Union.
Fuck no.
Just give that a miss, yeah.
Look, I got a dog here that wants to be in the show, man.
Oh yeah, come on, bring him up.
Lemmy, come here. Yeah, here. Because he fits you, man. He's an English bulldog. Come and say hi. No. He's shy. Can you see him now?
Yes. Oh. Lemmy. So
yeah. It's my girlfriend's dog.
What a cutie.
Yeah, a beauty. But I think he needs a walk, so it's
good
actually
boy.
a perfect time to stop the show.
What a good boy. Well, you're both a pair of very good boys, and I wish you all the love.
All right.
Cool.
So much love back to you, man.
Nice one, dude. I will see you very soon. Take it easy.
Soon, man.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Gareth Thrasher there, head of Prospect Recordings, certified mad bastard. He's in Glasgow on Saturday if you are in the area and want to go and have some deep fried buckfast with him. And yeah, I've my next release that is as yet untitled, potentially going to call it Music for the Tide Pod Generation. It's coming out on Prospect in February, I believe. So look, to play us out, let's have this Lodestar remix of Morpheus. And then we can all go home to our wives. If you don't already know, you can get this show as a podcast. Just go to any decent podcast app. That's Apple or Stitcher or Spotify and search for Coffee and Memes. There's a link in the YouTube video and there's plenty of links on the website. Download that shit. You can check out my other chats with Counter-Strike, Inside Info, Scientific, Jakes, John B. Some of the baddest motherfuckers in the scene. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Someone in the chat saying they've seen Lion Wax's wiener and it wasn't fun. Terrifying scenes. This is the Lodestar remix of If I Could by Mephius. Whew. That is a spicy number. Joe Waits is in Sheffield and offering to buy anyone a pint. Just saying. It's not even 11 o'clock. This motherfucker's going to be standing outside of Weatherspoons. Just with like a rattle. Roll up, get your pints. Probably. He's a good boy. Right, look, this just gives me a small moment of time to shout out the VIP list. This is a list of people who are supporting this show and Threshold as a whole on Patreon, helping to keep us going, helping to keep the lights on, keep the bills paid, helping us to do what it is that we are doing. That's Nicholas Goncalves, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Pauly Hutton, Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Matthew Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Colm Murphy, Sam Howard, Tony J, Richard Patterson, Jack Murphy, Tom Camm, Stephen Harris, Mattieu Boulard, Zara Pickles, Jeroen Van Thunderbutt, Mike Pye, Anthony Walker, and Lily Unsub. That is a list of bad motherfuckers, if ever I did see a list of bad motherfuckers. Wesley Snips, got anything to say for yourself?
Smoking these meats.
Right, okie bloody dokie. Well, look, guys, it's been a fucking pleasure. Tomorrow I will be back at 10 a.m. for more coffee and memes, more hard drum and bass, more ridiculous news stories. Then later that afternoon, I will be going to be on Killer Keller's podcast with him and Matt from the Freestylers, who's now a psychologist. A little bit more untangling of the mental health, well, quite honestly, crisis in dance music, or in music in general. And then I will be back at 4 for Rankin's Records tomorrow, because I'm not going to be back for 3 because it's just humanly impossible. So Rankin's Records will be 1 hour later than normal tomorrow. I'll be playing the best drum and bass vinyl on flat Earth. So do not hesitate to tune in for that. But now it's the pubs are going to be opening in 1 minute. So go about your day as you please. Do something good. Be nice. Be nice to your fellow brothers and sisters. They're probably decent folk as well as you. You know, go to the gym, work out, eat some decent food. Try and stay off the sugar. Try and stay off the crack. And don't let your memes be dreams. And remember that I love you. And one day, we'll passionately snog. That's the dream. And you gotta have a dream. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.